Good evening, everyone, and welcome to New York Buddha Dharma. My name is John Baker, and we're going to start tonight with not only meditation practice, but the practice of Tonglen. This is a practice that you can do for people who are in distress, or for people who have recently died, to help them on their journey. And you can also do it for yourself. Tonglen is a compassion practice. The words are Tibetan, Tonglen, and they mean giving and sending and taking. And I think that'll become clear what that is. So what we'll do is we'll start with a period of just straight sitting practice, watching our breath or resting in space, whatever your practice may be. And then I'll start the Tonglen and I'll give instruction on how to do it. You might think we're going to do it tonight in particular for a friend of Sarah's, whose name is Purvi Patel, who died recently at the age of 37 or so, and of cancer. And for a friend of some of ours here, Bob Feldman, who's in the process of dying of lung cancer at the age of 78, and very close, I think. And also for another friend of mine whose name is Jamie, who suffers from a biological mental disorder. And you can do it for anybody that you want to do it for. It's a sort of a visualization practice. You'll be thinking of them, perhaps even visualizing them during the practice. So it's good to decide if you want to do it for someone who that person might be. Or persons. So with a good posture, might start with just a little bit of a body scan. Just check your body for tension. And the most common places we hold tension are in the lower belly. If there's any tension there, just relax your lower belly. And in your shoulders, neck. Also in your face, you might check your forehead, eyes, cheeks, mouth, and if there's tension there, relax it. Your eyes are open, directed down at about a 45-degree angle, although if you wish, you can always move them to the horizontal. Your gaze is natural. It's not too swimmy, and it's not hyper-focused, just very relaxed and easy. Your hands rest comfortably on your thighs. And the main point is to have an erect spine so that you feel that the crown of your head is pointed up toward the ceiling. You might tuck your chin just a little bit. Your breathing is completely natural. You don't control it. And you bring your awareness into this room, this space of this present moment. It's relaxed. It's effortless. Things arise, objects of sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, and mental events, and they come and go in this space. And you just relax here in the space. Your awareness is wide, easy, effortless. And in the middle of all this space, the breath comes up exits your nostrils, goes out into the space, dissolves, and at the end of the out-breath, there's just a slight pause. And then the breath comes up, goes out. You can feel it as it exits your nostrils, goes out into the space, dissolving, and at the end of the out-breath, there's a slight pause. And the breath comes up, and repeat. Thoughts come and go. It's not a problem. As soon as you realize you're thinking, you're not. Don't do anything more with it at all. Least of all, be hard on yourself for having had a thought. And if you are, then just see that. Let it go, and then the breath goes out again. It's all about awareness. The buzzer rings, somebody comes in late. It's not a problem, it's just part of the field of your awareness. Now in the middle of this relaxed awareness, we're going to start doing Tonglen. So you should have in mind the person or persons or sentient beings, might be an animal, for which or whom you want to do Tonglen. This is a compassion practice to help them. Might be someone who is ill or suffering in some way, going through an unhappy time. It might be someone who is dying or who has recently died, and you're going to do Tonglen for them to help them on their journey. And it can even be Tonglen for yourself if you're in a particular distress. So you bring the object of your Tonglen practice to mind. In particular, tonight we're thinking of a friend of one of our Sangha members whose name is Puri Patel, who has recently died of cancer at the age of 37. And we're going to do this practice for her and for anyone else that you wish to do it for. Is Marie coming? Good. She's here. So we'll just wait for one more person to join us. So this is a compassion practice. I'm going to repeat it for the two people who just came in. And you can do it for someone who is unhappy or who has suffered recently. And we're doing it for a person who's just died, a friend of Sarah's. And I'll be doing it for a friend of mine who is dying. Some of you may know Bob Feldman. He's rather close. And I'm also doing it for another friend of mine who is ill. And you might do it for whomever you like. So you imagine this person, you bring them to mind, you feel their presence, you visualize them in front of you or somewhere, doesn't really matter. And what the practice is, this is called Tonglen, is that you're breathing in their unhappiness and suffering, and you're breathing out to them confidence, happiness, and good cheer. So we start out by imagining that we're breathing in dark air, and it's hot, it's full of fear, it's full of unhappiness, sorrow, and we breathe that in. It doesn't stay in us, because then we turn around and we breathe out light, cool air, full of confidence, fearlessness, good cheer. And then we breathe in the dark, hot, fearful, unhappy air. And we breathe out cool air, and it's light, confident, fearless, happy, cheerful. And now you bring your loved one or your friend or whomever you're doing this for to mind. And when you breathe in the dark air, you're breathing in their unhappiness, their fear, their uncertainty, their sorrow. And you breathe out to them confidence, well-being, and it's light, it's bright, it's clear, it's cool. And then you breathe in their sorrow, their fear, and it's dark and hot. And you breathe it in and you're taking it from them. And then you give out to them confidence, good cheer, cool, light air. And we'll just do that for a few minutes. You can do this practice with your eyes open or closed, whatever helps you to visualize it. And you can include yourself if you wish. And you breathe in your own anxiety, unhappiness. And you breathe out confidence and good cheer to yourself. So with the object of your Tonglen practice in mind, breathe in their suffering, dark and hot, and breathe out good cheer and confidence, light and cool, to them. Bathe them in it. And it contains your love, your regard. And now begin to dissolve your visualization of the person that you've been, or persons that you've been doing Tonglen for. Let it go. And slowly or easily come back to the awareness of this present moment with your eyes open and the breath going out into space, this room, and at the end of the out-breath there's just a pause. The in-breath is just a turning point for the out-breath, just kind of like a reset, and your awareness is on the out-breath as it exits your nostrils or your lips and goes out into the space, dissolving as it goes. And at the end, there's just a pause. Thoughts come and go. You don't judge yourself for having them. Just see them. Let them go and come back to the technique, the breath. It helps when you're doing this practice to keep your eyes focused on one spot. That helps quiet the mind. So if your mind has been wandering, that's fine, just see it. And then rest your awareness in this space, and the breath goes out into it, dissolves, and at the end of the out-breath, there's just a pause. Then you breathe in to reset, and once again, go out with the out-breath.